Oh yeah, shit. Like as of today, shit. If you make a bet with somebody and you don't keep that bet, what they gonna label you as? As a bitch ass nigga. So how much more with the Lord? Because the Lord sees that you not keeping that vow that you made with Him. What? He's not gonna fuck with you. All right, shit. He gonna cut your ass off.
Shows that he can't trust you. Right. All right. Go ahead.
This is James 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. All right, so when you fall into diverse temptations or hard times, you're supposed to count it all joy. You know, call along Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. All right, don't be down about it because ultimately you know what it is. All right, this verse 3.
Ooh, if I can add before you go to the next verse. And shit, that's the whole point whenever you come into this truth, knowing that shit, what you getting yourself into. All right, shit, you come into this truth, you gotta be expecting those trials and tribulations to come upon you.
Prepare.
Exactly, prepare yourself for that.
Make preparations. Shit, I gotta brace myself. I know once I cross over this line, shit gonna get real.
What the scripture say in the Apocrypha, shit, you gotta have fire on one side and water on the other.
Right.
This verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Right.
All right, and that's what it all is, you know.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is just to back up that point. This is Romans 8:38. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Mashiach Yahushua our Lord. So, hey, when those trials and tribulations come, hey, you got to know that, man, that shouldn't separate you from this walk, man. You know, keep on pushing.
Right.
Actually, those things are only going to better you in this walk.
Now let's get some examples of how the Most High sees everybody through the things they go through. It's gonna be some kind of like in-depth reading. Let me get Genesis 22, 9 through 12. Let me get Genesis 39, 20 and 21. Let me get Daniel chapter 3, 17 through 25. You jump to sure, get Exodus 14, 13 through 16. Bro.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, this is Genesis chapter 22, verse 9. And they came to the place which the Most High had told him of.
Right.
And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order.
Right.
And bound Isaac his son.
Right.
And laid him upon the altar upon the wood.
Right.
And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son.
Right. So to do an act like that, bro, you ultimately have to know that Yahweh Shem Yahshua promised him this son. He promised him this gonna be your son. Everything. Now he went even against. He told him that the chosen line of people and the promises are gonna go through this son. So if he know that, like I know that all the promises that he made me gonna go through Isaac. And then he backdoored after knowing that, had to put Isaac on the altar to kill him. But like I thought you told me. Through all that, he like, you know what? I'm trusting, bro. I'm trusting. So he went and he was finna slay him. But that shows y'all about Shem Yahshua is of his word, bro. Go ahead.
And the angel of the Most High called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him.
Right.
For now I know that thou fearest the Most High, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me.
Right, and yeah, that's the thing. You can't withhold. Basically, he that put his hand to the plow and look back. You know what I'm saying? Because the same way Abraham had Isaac is the same way you're made to be a sacrifice. Okay? So you can't hold back your sword from blood. If you tell someone something according to the scriptures and it hurts their feelings, so be it. You can't hold that back because what you tell them actually might save them. You know?
That's why.
Go ahead.
I'm about to say that's just paraphrasing scriptures. Why the scriptures say, "Woe to him that pulleth back his sword from blood."
Right. Yeah, nah, but that's the spirit though. That shows you, bro. You can't hold back nothing because of personal feelings. Like somebody walk by and it's someone you know, and then he's like, you kind of like shy back, you know what I'm saying? And they look at you, hey, what you doing up here? You're like, oh man, we just, you know what I'm saying, reading the Bible or whatever. Nah, you gotta go into depth. Tell them, hey, this who you are according to the Bible. America gonna be destroyed, and you bring it forth, no matter how they may look at you. Just like with Abraham. Abraham ain't asked no questions. It wasn't like, but Lord, you told me that this was gonna be my chosen seed. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how it works.
If I can add, that's why the scriptures say open rebuke is better than secret love.
Right.
You know, it's better that you openly rebuke somebody and tell them instead of secretly and just holding it from them. You know?
Right.
Genesis 39.
Yeah.
This is Genesis 39, 20 and 21. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph, and shewed him mercy, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison.
So the Most High dropped a spirit because he had favor. And if y'all remember that story, the chick was saying, man, he raped me, or he tried to rape me, or tried to sleep with me. You know what I'm saying?
He just left the garment over.
Yeah, he left his garment, and the next thing you know, Joseph in prison for 2 years, but the whole time him being in prison, Yahweh Shem Yahshua dropped a spirit on the prison keeper to be like real cool with him. You know what I'm saying? He was real cool with him because he dropped that spirit. That shows he did not leave him in a situation to where the very first scripture, where there was no way out of it. You know what I'm saying?
This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Beautiful.
And what? Ooh, kind. Hey, look, and what? Because that first script was like that was common to man, right?
Right.
That's only to who? Israelites. The Lord is only going to chastise them because we are the Lord's children.
Right.
Lord not going to
Right.
chastise, you know what I'm saying, eat them, you're not following my laws.
Yeah.
No, it's no repentance for Esau.
Right.
You know, this don't pertain to him.
Right.
This is only for Israel.
Okay. This is Psalms 34 and 7. They say, the angels of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him
Right.
and deliver them.
Right.
All right, so ultimately we're protected,
Damn.
encamped around about us.
Damn.
You know?
You camped around something, hey, it's your dwelling place. So those angels, wherever you go, and camp means it's like you basically stationary. Because if you're planted somewhere, if that spirit moves, you camped around about them, the angels right there. You know what I'm saying?
That brother made.
Yeah, right. So wherever you go, they camped around about you. You go to New York, the angel right there.
Because what? Don't the angels give a report?
Yeah.
How they gonna get
Right.
a report if they not around you?
Right.
You know?
God.
You want to Daniels 3?
Yeah. Whatever I told you.
On the verse you said.
17 through 25.
All right, Daniels 3 and chapter 3, verse 17. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us
Yes.
from the burning fiery furnace,
Right.
and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Right.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Man, bro, that's faith.
Real.
That's trust. That's blind trust right there, bro. Somebody threatening to throw you in a motherfucking furnace. Somebody basically threatening to cook you alive, bro. Imagine if they took the things, the trays that hold the food in the oven, and they punch you and knock your ass out and folded you up, put you in the oven, and you just in that bitch, and they got a padlock on that bitch, and they looking at you. You gonna serve our God, or this oven going higher and higher, and you in that bitch, and that's your option. And they tell them, fuck no, we ain't buying, we ain't doing none of that shit, bro. If you gonna cook us, whatever you gonna do what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's faith like a motherfucker, bro. You really believe that the Most High is going to deliver you. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fear, in the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach.
His
His
face.
visage, like
Yeah, his face, it changed from.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it changed from like you like just feel like, oh shit. Because normally when you put somebody in a situation to where they're under pressure, you know, in the human mind you're gonna see them fold. You like, man, they gonna fold. You said, shit, being burned alive, or they gonna fold. And they stood boldly, bro. They stood there boldly, and he was like, damn, y'all believe in y'all power that much?
that much.
You know what I'm saying? Go
I
ahead.
got a quick pre-show to back that point up. Just going into out of the brothers bringing out when you get put in those situations, you know that what the common man is gonna fold. This Ephesians 6 and verse 4. It says, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another.
Right.
For every man shall bear his own burden. Because the temptations that's gonna come, you might be separated from the Akim.
Right.
And I'm saying it being a FEMA camp.
Right.
You know? But you gotta continue to keep that faith and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahshua to overcome that.
And you gotta know that spirit, all these things that were written for our learning, bro. And not only were they written for our learning, but you have examples like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Abraham, Judas Maccabee. You have all these examples, so when you get put in that situation, you know to conduct yourself through the Spirit the same way they did, because the Most High have never leaving or forsaken none of them. Hey, bro, that book, this thing we call the Bible, bro, that's life, bro. That's life. You know what I'm saying? So you either believe it 100% and 100% truth. Hey, bro, you don't at all. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Go ahead, all right.
All right. It says, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fear.
Hold on. You had a precept, huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead, run your precept, huh?
This is Psalms 37 and 4. Yeah, it say, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Right.
All right. So be there. You know.
Right.
Sell out.
Stop.
You know, sell out. You know, have faith.
Right.
That unfeigned faith. Hold on, I'm gonna get that.
Right.
Unmovable.
Unmovable, bro. That's right.
Not wavering.
This is 2 Timothy 1 and 1 and 5. Yeah, 1 and 5. It say, when I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Louise and thy mother Eunice,
Right.
and I am persuaded that in thee also. All right, and
Right.
that was Paul, you know, speaking to Timothy.
Right.
All right, he was telling them, hey, have that unfeigned faith that your grandmother had, and I know that you have it too.
Right.
You know.
All right, it says, in the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated.
So now he basically saying,
That bitch
if you gonna fight, you gonna push back against what I'm saying. Now I'm gonna push back of what you saying. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It says, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent,
Now I want you to hold that right quick. Go to that part where he bound them up.
you read it?
Read that for me.
All right, this is Daniel chapter 3, verse 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right, watch this. Now, they were taken because they didn't want to listen to what he was telling them to do, right? This is Mark 13 and 9. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils. This is us. And in the synagogues, and ye shall be beaten. Ye shall be beaten. And ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. So by us doing this right here, and basically telling the whole world that Esau in the Bible, the so-called Caucasian or white man, are the devil, okay? They can't be trusted. This system is wicked. Christianity is bullshit. Everything in this place is totally wrong. This is what's going to happen to us. The same thing for them not bowing down to the system. The same thing going to happen to the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, bro. Mark 13 and
Got a
9.
quick precept.
Go ahead.
It's Sirach 2 and 5, because they was cast into that fire.
Right.
It says, for gold is tried in the fire,
Right.
and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You know, so we going through the adversity right now, you know, to be what? Acceptable and a pleasing gift unto Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
But check this out. I'm going to say this after you read that, bro. Go ahead.
Says, therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
That's how hot it was. Go ahead.
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire?
Now watch this. Okay, go ahead.
They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose.
4 men. Now check this out. It took, what was that word of faith you said?
Unfeigned.
Unfeigned faith.